Apple's fourth quarter results are out, and we have updated our model to include the new details for the fourth quarter, as well as the new guidance that management gave us for the first fiscal quarter of next year. And we're going to take a look now at the results of our model to see if the price move in after hours makes sense. If you're new to our modeling approach, please visit our website, gutenbergresearch.com. Click on the Education tab and scroll down to the Apple model. There'll be a full video demonstration of how the model works. And you can also go through other details of other models while you're there and download this model for free as well. So from the Investor Relations page, we got the new results and guidance from the latest press release. Here's the guidance right here. And we've input them into this model on the right-hand side of the screen. On the left-hand side of the screen, we had the model as it stood just prior to the release. And you can see, as indicated by these orange cells, we had the top line revenue and the bottom line EPS numbers calibrated to meet consensus estimates. So now we filled in September quarter, and the purple cells here represent management's guidance, the midpoint of management's guidance for the first fiscal quarter of the 2016 year. So let's just quickly go through September and see where we stood relative to the consensus estimates. So we beat on the revenue line, we beat on the gross margin line, came in ahead on management's guidance for other income. Net income beat the implied net income from management's guidance, and EPS was well ahead of what the street was expecting. So now, if we scroll down to the segment details, right here is where we input our units, and let's take a look at how things shook out. So for iPhones, we were expecting about 48 billion iPhones sold in our model, and that's about what it came in at. One interesting thing is the average selling price of those iPhones. If we scroll down here, you can see it's $670 per phone, which was ahead of our expectation of $660. So that was favorable. iPad sales were well below what our expectations were, but that was offset a bit by the selling price. And iWatches, the company doesn't break the iWatch sales out of the other category, so it's difficult to tell what the average selling price is and how many watches they sold. We left our estimate of units unchanged at 2.7 billion, but we just had to back out the remaining growth from the growth rate of the other category. So we reduced that by, or actually we increased that by 70 basis points. So not a big change there, nothing that really moved the needle. So now let's scroll back up to the income statement, and we can see that now setting each one of these purple items to the midpoint of management's new guidance. And then the only assumption we have to make for the income statement is the change in the share count. And we kept our assumption for the amount of shares repurchased in the first fiscal quarter of next year at about 4 billion, which would give us a share count of about 5.6 billion, and that would imply a diluted EPS based on management's guidance of $3.19 a share. So if we scroll back up to what we had before, the street was looking for $3.21. So the implied guidance misses the street's expectation by about 2 cents. Not a huge deal. And if you look at what happened to the share price based on the balance sheet structure, which is reflected in our change in our DCF price, and based on the fact that since our multiple is based on the next 12 months, we had to move forward by 1 quarter the reference periods in the calculation of the price based on the price-earnings ratio. We end up with a share price of $134, which is better than our estimate as of yesterday of $125. So is there a huge move overall? No. But you could expect to see maybe some analysts increasing their price targets, or at least leaving them where they are, as the shares have come down quite a bit in the last couple of months. Alright, thanks for watching. Be sure to check back after the consensus estimates are in. We'll recalibrate our model and post the updates on our website. And feel free to download this model for free, and you can put in your own assumptions and see what happens to earnings and the share price. And thanks for watching.